Academic presentation. My name is Mike Drede Duran. What is an academic presentation? An academic presentation is an effective task that develops a student's communication skills. They later use these skills in their professional and personal lives in the future after studies. Shy students might struggle with talking in front of an audience, but learning about the true power of speech will help them overcome their fear. So, in our elementary days, we practiced ourselves to report in front of our classmates. Yeah, right. And we practice also in communicating with other people. Like if there is someone asking to you where or what direction it is, you can communicate with him or her that it is there and that's the way you would go. And that's a practice of communication skills. And in actually in our high school, we thought to report and to use our communication skills in front of a lot of people, or even praying in inside the classroom. And shy students might struggle with talking in front of an audience because they have no confidence to talk, and they became anxious when there's a lot of people. But it will help them to overcome their fears once they overcome that shyness of them. And how to choose the best academic presentation topics. A very accurate approach should be taken in selecting the academic presentation topics. Some of the topics may be well expected and liked by the audience, and it is most probable that they want to hear more about it, but there are some limits that you can explore to hence the topics should not be selected on an emotional basis. So a very accurate approach is you choose a topic that is very catchy to the audience, and they are like to listen to you while you are presenting, and they are become more interested if you give a presentation to them that you are enjoying it, and you are loving it, and they will come to their mind that this topic is interesting, and more knowledge you would have if you listen this topic. And 6 tips for giving academic presentation. One is use PowerPoint judiciously. So use your PowerPoint accurately and be more cautious of what you are presenting. And there is a formula to academic presentations. So the academic formula of these presentations is your communication skills. If you gain some communication skills and you are not afraid to speak in a lot of people or an audience, you have this formula. The audience wants to hear about your research, but basically, some of our reportings might the audience don't want to hear about it because there is this is less interesting in me, yeah. And practice your communication skills, enhance it day by day, uh, year by year when you go to school, or day by day when you're communicating with someone. And keep to your time limit. Always watch your time, because in example, you are in a battle like flip top. You always keep your time limit. Always watch the time, because if you exceed those limit, it will be boring, and those audience would not be satisfied. Just what if they are hungry and they want to eat, but you exceed to your time limit and the exact time that it will end. And don't read don't just read your presentation. Explain to them that this is your presentation, and give some examples about it. And it will not be just a reading material, but also like an advertisement to them. So this is the end of my presentation, academic presentation, and thank you.
Good day, everyone. I'm John Carl Ingito, and this is the continuation of our report. Types of academic presentation. Informative presentation. Informative presentation is common request in business and industry. It's the virtual and visual equivalent of written report. Information sharing is a part of any business or organization. Informative presentations serve to present specific information for a specific audience for specific goals or functions. The examples of informative presentation. Company president presenting information on about last quarter sales to a group or board members. College professor lecturing on a specific topic during a class. Persuasive presentation. Persuasive speech is one of the three most daily used speeches. Persuasive speech is used when presenters decide to convince their presentation or ideas to their listeners. Their goal is to convince or persuade people to believe in a certain point of view. Advertisement is one of the examples of persuasive speech. Another examples of persuasive presentation. Sales pitch. During sales pitch, the speaker is trying to convince the audience to buy his or her product or service. If the salesperson is successful, the audience, the person being sold, will choose to purchase the product or service. Inspirational presentation. An inspirational speech is written to persuade or convince the listeners that they can succeed. This might involve relating optimistic and uplifting stories or anecdotes based on faith or real life situation taken from the lives or ordinary or famous people from history, sports, politics, and the business world. Examples of inspirational speech. When you have a dream, you got to grab it and never let go. Nothing is impossible. There is nothing impossible today who will try. Demonstrative presentation. Speeches teach an audience how to do specific things. Even if you are an expert at your topic, the process of writing a speech which assures that audience has learned something new can be challenging. They are also known as explanation speeches or a demonstrative presentation. Examples. You will demonstrate to your audience how to do something. It is easiest to decide on a topic if you start with a verb, such as how to do something, how to make something, how to fix something. Instructive presentation. Instructive presentation are similar to informative presentations, but it's more than just giving information. People attend instructive presentations to learn something new and to understand the topic of the presentation better. Examples. Workshop, training sessions, or webinars teach audience a new skill or procedure. By offering specific information or instructions, Explaining new policies to a company is another type of instructive presentation. Decision making presentation. Decision making is the process of making choice by identifying a decision, gathering information, and assessing alternative resolutions. Using a step-by-step decision making process can help you make more deliberate, thoughtful decisions by organizing relevant information and defining alternative. Examples: deciding your future, focus to your goals, be a successful person. Progress presentation. A progress presentation or report is exactly what it sounds like, a document that explains in details how far you've gone. Towards the completion of a project, it outlines the activities you've carried out, the tasks you've completed, and the milestones you reach your project plan. The example: a presentation involves talking in front of a group or people to explain an idea, system, process, recent performance, forecast, or other topic. The person who does the explaining is the presenters and may use virtual aids to help convey his or her message more effectively. There are more many types of academic presentations: recount, instruction, narrative, information report, explanation, argument, inquiry.
Presentation can be defined as a formal event characterized by teamwork and use of audiovisual aids. The main purpose of presentation is to give information, to persuade the audience to act and to create goodwill. A good presentation should have a good subject matter, should match with the objective, should best fit the audience, and should be well organized. My topic is about the characteristics of a good, effective presentation. The presentation ideas should be well adapted to your audience. Relate your presentation message, idea to the interests of the audience. A detailed audience analysis must be made before the presentation, an analysis of the needs, age, educational background, language, and culture of the target audience. Their body language instantly gives the speaker the required feedback. A good presentation should be concise and should be focused on the topic. It should not move off track. A good presentation should have the potential to convey the required information. The fear should be transformed into positive energy during the presentation. Be calm and relaxed while giving a presentation. Before beginning, wait and develop an eye contact with the audience. Focus on conveying your message well and use a positive body language. To communicate the
desired information.
the speaker should use more of visual aids such as transparencies, diagrams, pictures, charts, etc. Each transparency slide should contain limited and essential information only. No slide should be kept on for a longer time. Try facing the audience rather than the screen. The speaker should not block the view. Turn on the room lights else the audience might fall asleep and lose interest. Organize all the visuals for making a logical and sound presentation. A good presentation must be planned. The speaker must plan how to begin the presentation, what to speak in the middle of presentation and how to end the presentation without losing audience interests at any point of time. Rehearse and practice the presentation. This will help the speaker to be more confident and self-assured. The more the speaker rehearses, the better the presentation turns to be. The speaker should encourage more questions from the audience. He should be honest enough to answer those questions. If any biased question is put forth by the audience, re-articulate it before answering.
Summarize the presentation at the end.
Give final comments. Leave a positive impact upon the audience. The speaker must have a presentable appearance while giving a presentation. The speaker should stand with feet far apart, maintaining a good balance. He must use confident gestures. He must use short and simple words. Try to gain and maintain audience interest by using positive quotes, humor, or remarkable fact. The speaker must be affirmative and optimistic before giving presentation. He should ensure all tools and equipments to be used in presentation are working well. The speaker must state the objectives of the presentation at beginning of the presentation.